Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down because today we're talking about some of the most vile people on the internet. Influencer parents. A while back, we did a video on the notorious Ruby Frankie and her family vlog channel, 8 Passengers. We did it with my mom, and it was something that I found extremely fascinating, and it just made you sick to your stomach that somebody could basically prioritize content over their children. Not me and my kids. What if I told you at one time he was alive? Shit. If you don't know Ruby Frankie, she made the national headlines for essentially torturing her kids behind the scenes, leaving her trapped up in a house. It's fucking gruesome. There's been documentaries about it. Real fun stuff. I mean, what seemed like a happy, loving family on camera turned out to be a home filled with abuse and fear.
I'm only gonna say it one more time, and then you're gonna lose the privilege to eat dinner. Bitch.
And this story is not an isolated incident. This is something that's been reoccurring time and time again. It seems like a pattern where you cannot mix the selfish nature of content creation with raising a family, and especially whenever one relies on the other. Typically when content creation relies on idolizing your perfect life or perfect family. Doesn't mix, not healthy chemistry. So let's take a look at some of the worst family influencers out there. Starting off with Allie Ray, who, starting off fresh, home run swinging here, nearly killed her baby in the NICU because she was starving for a sandwich. Not the baby, Allison Ray. This controversial mother is a TikTok live streamer who is part of a niche online community called Beg Talk.
Like and subscribe.
Smash that bell. Give me money. Which Beg Talk is where they spend all day on TikTok begging for money. There's a lot of people that do it. Basically, people just being live, gassing people up to just throw money at them for virtually doing nothing besides sitting and having a camera that is live. And of course, getting pregnant gave her the perfect excuse to make content and beg for money on live streams, later revealing it wasn't an accident, but a plan to trap her 19-year-old partner. Lucky dog.
She's got like all the plays: begging, entrapment, family talk.
She's like King Griffey Jr. in 1997, dude. Unstoppable. There's gonna be a couple people who are like, oh. At first, she claimed it was his idea, but later admitted that it was her plan all along. But things only got worse as the pregnancy went on. At just 33 weeks pregnant, Allie went into labor and was rushed to the hospital. Not wanting to endure a long birth, she pushed to be induced early, telling doctors she couldn't afford to wait since she relied entirely on live stream donations. Doc, I gotta be back live tonight. Can we squirt this thing out quick, please and thank you?
Yeah, just shoot me up with some of that juice.
Shoot me up through my spine with some of that juice and fucking get a coat hanger and start pulling, dude. All right? And after a few days in the hospital, Allie delivered the baby, and it was immediately rushed to the NICU and put on multiple breathing machines and monitors because it was delivered so fucking early. Had to monitor it.
Well, she was live on TikTok saying like, I thought 33 weeks was when babies are born, not 38.
I don't know, maybe somebody who's educated on this can explain this to me, but like, what's the difference between delivering at 33 and 34 weeks? Because either way, the lungs are not fully developed until 37 weeks.
Her doctor was like, let's try to make 34, like really trying to push it.
Why don't we just keep threading that needle of like maybe 35, you know, that kind of thing. One would think that a new parent would be freaking out over their newborn's condition, but for Allie Ray, that was far from the truth. She was happy not to be pregnant and was live on TikTok. Thank God. She was reading comments and accepting roses and galaxies in the NICU. And people were already appalled by the behavior thus far, and she was already receiving a ton of hate for it. Nothing could have prepared viewers for what happens next. Sorry. While live streaming herself holding her daughter, Allie did the unthinkable. Since her baby daddy wasn't there to help out in the hospital room, she unplugged her baby from the breathing machine and monitors to get the attention of a nurse so they could bring her a turkey sandwich.
No, you're fine. It's not an emergency. Oh. I just was gonna see if you could bring me a turkey sandwich.
And it's so sad that this is all on video. Not even on video, it was happening in real time for viewers. Can you imagine just sitting there being like,
yeah, can you imagine the baby?
Yeah, the baby sitting there just like, Allie clearly didn't think she'd done anything wrong, so she did it again in a separate live stream. This time, asking for a drink instead. I bet that was rage baiting. He's fine.
He's thirsty, and so is mommy.
And as soon as it happened, people clipped it and she went viral. Numerous reports were made to the hospital and CPS detailing what Allie had done. And additionally, viewers who had experiences in the NICU were outraged that a mother could disregard their newborn's health like that. Allie tried to defend herself by claiming the nurses told her to unplug the machine, saying, quote, "I was told that if I needed something, I should unplug it. That's exactly what I'm gonna do."
Jesus Christ.
God, man, you know what's kind of do you think that she really believes that though? I do think that there's levels of narcissism that come in that you maybe perpetuate a lie so much in your head that you legitimately believe that another person said it.
They probably like, if you need anything, there's like this call button.
It was, that's what I mean. And she's just like, oh, well,
I'll just unplug.
She told me to unplug it so I could just like wheel myself over and get a 7-Up or a Squirt or a Vault. Hey, could you go down the vending machine and get me a Vault? They're like, what year do you think it is? News articles came out on the situation, and the amount of backlash forced Allie to delete her TikTok account altogether. CPS would do an investigation, but Allie never faced any legal trouble for her actions in the hospital.
All it's gonna do is bring more traction to my page and more money in my pocket, so
happy ending.
So it's a happy ending for Allie, and I'm sure that baby's gonna be just fine as long as she has Vault and turkey sandwiches. In many of these controversial cases, the parents typically have more than 3 children. This provides a steady stream of content, and in theory, it's a good idea, but getting 5+ kids to cooperate is hard. Borderline impossible. And that's where parents lose their patience, like the case of Fantastic Adventure. I gotta say, this is a rough watch today. This is a sad one. I wouldn't say anything probably out of the ordinary. I would say as of late, a lot of weird stuff usually, but this one in particular, I don't know why. This case is so sad. In 2012, Fantastic Adventures began uploading a wide variety of children's content, ranging from scripted comedy skits to costume roleplay. The creator of the account, Michelle Hobson, would use her 3 biological children and her 7 adopted children as characters in each episode.
10 kids?
She's like, 2 more cheaper by the dozen. My favorite Steve Martin film. The channel quickly developed a loyal fan base that tuned into each upload, and at its peak, the account had over 800,000 followers and 250 million views. Hell, I'm gonna start signing up I'm gonna start adopting myself if that's the case. Can't lie, hey, the analytics don't lie. The channel went steady for 5 years until 2017, when controversy struck. Hobson's only biological daughter sent in an anonymous tip to the police for a welfare check on the home. That's a good sign. When police arrived, nobody was prepared for the horror that awaited inside the home. The first child they found was locked in a closet with no food or water in a diaper. The rest of the children were found starved and in a weakened state. According to the children, Michelle had repeatedly beaten them, forced them to take ice baths, sprayed them with pepper spray, and purposely withheld food, all because she believes that they didn't act well enough. And when we say pepper spray as well, just for the video, I don't want to be too gratuitous, but she's not spraying it into your eyes, she's spraying it in, let's just say, an inappropriate place, which just makes me like, what kind of sadistic do you have to be? Can't say that. What kind of sadistic fucking freak do you have to be to do that? It appalls me.
Power trip, I think.
Do you think it's just a power trip, or do you think that the person's just like, wait, I have to upload. I have to, like, going and saying, I gotta get, hey, views are down. Steven, could you come over here?
Well, it's one of those things because she's saying based on poor performance. It's like she's like a theater person.
Well, that's what I mean. Based on poor performance, do you think she means like view-wise, or do you think that she's just like, you guys aren't trying hard enough?
I think it's you guys aren't trying hard enough.
Yeah. See, that's what happened in the Ruby Frankie thing too. When she's like, you need to smile and say this, and they're like, can I fucking do anything else right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Brutal, bro. The children were also found to be developmentally behind because they hadn't attended school in years and instead were kept at home to film and act in YouTube videos constantly. Whoa! And as soon as these conditions were discovered, the children were removed, and Michelle and her 2 older biological sons were arrested. The 2 sons were charged with failing to report the abuse since they allegedly knew what was happening in the house, but the charges were later dropped because there wasn't enough evidence to support them being a part of it.
It's kind of like Ruby Frankie's husband.
Well, I've always been confused about Ruby Frankie's husband because I'm like, what the fuck were you doing? What I don't understand is he's like, well, she kicked me out. I'm like, you didn't want to check on your kids once? He's like, well, I had my faith.
Like, seemed fine on the cameras.
It's fine. How can you watch this go by? It's just weird. Michelle was charged with 5 counts of unlawful imprisonment, 2 counts of molestation, and 7 counts of child abuse, but she never served jail time. Because after being deemed mentally incompetent, she died in a hospital in 2019, effectively bringing the Fantastic Adventure saga to an end. You're mentally unfit, she just fucking like boils in a room. The only thing keeping her alive was pointing a DSLR camera at her. She's like a fucking Japanese like yokai spirit. She's like the ghost in the ring. the nurse is just like cracking the door and looking in. Film me! Film me! Like the Wicked Witch of the West or some shit. Yeah. Most parents will go great lengths to ensure that their kids are healthy and happy. However, one Australian mom got exposed for doing the complete opposite. Let's talk about the Harris family. Alana Harris and her husband, Brock, ran a popular family TikTok account with their 1 million followers under the name The Harris Family. Scrolling through the videos, you would think that they were just another happy family sharing their vacations, pregnancies, and family events with the world. The family had 3 kids, 2 boys and a daughter, Daisy, who was diagnosed with tuberous sclerosis complex, which is a rare genetic disorder that causes non-cancerous brain tumors to form. This diagnosis was devastating for the family, and Alana regularly posted her daughter in the hospital, providing the audience with regular updates and expressing gratitude for your support. Oh my God, thank you for watching and donating. I appreciate it. And eventually, a GoFundMe was set up and raised thousands of dollars to cover the cost of Daisy's medical procedures. Yet, after countless operations, doctors noticed that Daisy wasn't getting any better and that her condition was staying the same or even worsening. So a toxicology report was conducted, and it showed that her blood content had high levels of benzodiazepines, other commonly known as Xanax or Valium.
Whoa.
Fun one. This obviously raised red flags for doctors as they had never prescribed any drugs like that, and doctors continued to investigate the source of the drugs. And it didn't take long to uncover that Alana had been deliberately drugging her child to keep her sick. Gypsy Rose, ladies and gentlemen. That's like a Munchausen thing, right?
Yeah.
Munchausen by proxy or whatever. Take the Xanax. It'll make you feel like you have wings. Well, I guess for a kid, it'd be the same shit of just like, yep, you had to take it. Just that authoritative tone, you know?
Exactly. You're sick, honey.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, dude. Fucking unbelievable. Alana did this because she benefited both financially and socially by keeping Daisy sick for content, a pattern consistent with Munchausen syndrome by proxy. The investigation report was handed over to the police, and all of Alana's children were removed from the home while she was taken into custody. Thank God. Brock, her husband, if you forgot that he was fucking there, like every one of these husbands, was initially suspected of aiding his wife and poisoning their child, but he later claimed that he was completely oblivious to the whole thing. I hate that. I fucking hate that. Here's a quote from him.
I had no idea about what Alana was doing to Daisy. I pushed her for these surgeries because of my heart. I felt it would help.
But I didn't do a single thing to put... It's him just being like, he's on his lazy boy watching TV. Babe, we should do that. Am I out of line by just being like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, there's definitely is like a disconnect, but I could see it.
A disconnect? Hey, I couldn't help but notice that fucking lumpy Lou over here keeps growing things in her head. Like, what the fuck? And you just keep giving her pills. Or you never once saw her give her a pill? Word? Not once? Wait, so are you taking care of it? Yeah. Okay. Like, is that as involved as you are? Like, it just seems insane. Every other friend I have that has a child, like, they know every single thing going on with that child. Like, medication they're taking, anything. Surgery's coming up, whatever. To just be like, well, I just saw she had it totally covered.
That's what I think it was. It's more like, it's not odd to be like, here, take this vitamin or whatever.
No. Her giving the medication to her daughter. I mean, like, you're gonna trust the fucking person that's raising you, right? Yeah. But I just mean, I am so livid by these fucking, these usually, I mean, in almost all these cases, Ruby Frankie and in this one here, it's like, are you doing nothing? What are you doing? Yeah. Well, I have to work.
I worked 8 hours today.
Well, I didn't. I mean, I just usually come home and I see her lumps and I say, well, okay, well, we gotta figure something out. Well, I get sleepy and I go to bed. I mean, does that not sound ridiculous, dude?
It's emotional. Like, you see your child lumpy and you just kind of want to disconnect and...
No, do you think that's what it is too? He's just like, I can't deal with this.
Yeah.
Like the stress of having to deal with that.
I think it's...
What a good father. I just can't.
Yeah.
Hey, babe, I'm going to go play Halo Wars in the basement.
Halo Wars?
Did you give her a vitamin? Okay, just making sure. Yeah, Halo Wars. He's like, all he has is an Xbox 360. He's playing games from like 2011. Hey, babe, I'm gonna play Sneak King. He's like, just plays the Burger King game and the... Online, many people were disgusted that they even supported someone like this and spread the story all over the internet. This ensured that the Harris family would be under a microscope for the rest of their lives. Following Alana's arrest, her TikTok account would be shut down. She would be charged with poisoning, torture, child exploitation, and fraud. Which I will say, 2 back-to-back. At least we have 2 arrests back-to-back. Usually on some of these, it's just like, well, actually, to be fair, one melted like a witch and the other one. They're like, you're insane. She's like, yeah! And this one, they're like, all right, I guess you have to go to prison. Are you going to melt? I don't think so. There are many challenges that come with raising a child, as each child is obviously different. So when you use your kids for content, it can be hard to get all of your kids to align with your narrative or brand, aka once again Ruby Frankie. Gotta get them all together. Kids go through like fucking puberty, they get all moody and all that kind of shit. And after a while, you're like, you need to smile. Mama needs to post to YouTube. We need roses on TikTok. Which, let me tell you something. This is another gut. I mean, all of these are going to be gut punches, but I remember when we were reading this one, it made me actually sick to my stomach. Because for one family, their adopted child was more work than they bargained for. The Ohio-based channel was called The Stauffer Life. Micah and James Stauffer built a family lifestyle brand, gaining over 700,000 followers on their main channel and 300,000 on their garage spin-off channel. And in each video, the parents showed off their hectic life with their 4 kids as they took them to their appointments, celebrated birthdays, and other life milestones, right? 2016 and 2017 marked an exciting time for the family as they were in the process of adopting a 2-year-old from China who they named Huxley, making sure to record every update along the way. The child they were adopting had severe autism and they were aware of it. And many viewers cautioned the parents about the work it might take to ensure Huxley was properly taken care of. If you already have that many kids and then all of a sudden you're throwing in someone who's going to need that much time and attention, I think people really underestimate what a task that is.
Yeah.
For severe autism, where it's at that point, it's like they can't take care of themselves, you know? But despite this, all Micah had to say was, quote, "But if anything, my child is not refundable." Yet, that's exactly what she did. In 2020, fans began to notice that Huxley stopped appearing in vlogs shortly after a video would be posted answering their questions. After only 3 years of living with the Stauffers, Huxley was sent to a different family within the United States. The reason why Huxley wasn't in the videos is because, like the comment said, they were unprepared for how much work it would take to give Huxley the proper care. And in a now deleted apology video, both Micah and James tried to claim that while they were aware of Huxley's special needs, there were still a lot of unknowns surrounding the conditions.
Do I feel like a failure as a mom? Like 500%.
And fans were outraged at Micah for exploiting her special needs child for views and began turning against her. And fans also created a change.org petition to remove the Stauffer's life's monetization, to which they succeeded. They cut their fucking money.
The one-time change.org.
Yeah, the one-time change.org does some shit. Though the Stauffers were never legally charged with anything, their lives and online reputation have been completely gutted because of their greed. Which I want to say too, first off, knowing that a child that's going to need that kind of attention's coming and you're like, yep, I'm totally fine with that. And then to later spend years with a child developing a relationship and then just be like, I can't. I think in many cases, especially if it's still a child and there's another family who's like, we will give them a better life, I don't think there's anything wrong with being like, this is just too much. I think it's just the angle of you 100% could tell that the Stauffers were like, this is going to be a gold mine.
Yeah, here's my little autistic baby we can,
yeah,
you know.
So then they're pawning it off like literally like an animal. Yeah. Like, oh, this is a dog we don't want anymore. There's no morality that way too. And then two, to not be, that's one thing. I don't think people have to be extremely transparent online. I think you have obviously like a personal life, but you don't even update it to where it's like, hey, here's this child that we have now. And then all of a sudden he's just not there anymore, as if no one's gonna notice. It's insane. It's just, it's fucking gross. It's gross because I look at it the same way like rich people would buy like, I don't know, an expensive car. Yeah. Or something. Well, I like the model, but I just want something new. It's like that. It's that hand. Like it's, ugh, I don't know. All narcissists, yeah, right? I think all content creators are. They have to be to an extent. But I think I probably am too, dude.
Not us.
Probably us. Probably. Sorry, dude. I fucking suck too. I don't know what I'm supposed to tell you. I haven't adopted a Chinese severely autistic baby though and pawned it off on somebody else, so I don't know what I'm supposed to tell you. The only Chinese baby I have is Modine.
Danny, want to give Danny a kiss?
Oh. I gave him a lot of vault earlier, so he's... There it is. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Get it out of here. What the hell is wrong with you? Religion plays a big part in a lot of families' lives, with faith being the glue that holds them together. One example of this on social media was our unique family. Very culty vibes.
Our unique family, yeah.
Our unique family.
We are chosen by God.
Which it was run by a rabbi and his 9 adopted sons. It's just, I was just like, this is me and my boys. Run by a rabbi and his 9 adopted sons, the TikTok account proudly showcased their Jewish faith, sharing family-friendly content that entertained over 300,000 followers. Chaim Cohen was seen as a righteous man for adopting these 9 boys and giving them a better life outside of foster care. They lived in a huge house, were homeschooled, and seemed to have everything they could have ever needed. But this image would come crumbling down when his 18-year-old son called into an Atlanta podcast and revealed what was truly going on inside the house. According to the Sun, Chaim had been abusing and neglecting all of his sons for years. He repeatedly withheld food and locked them in their room until 4 p.m., only to abuse them when they were freed. And after the call to the podcast ended, police went to Chaim's house, removed all the children, and took him into custody. When questioned by police, it was discovered that he had been lying about his identity and faith the whole time. That's so crazy, man. That's so fucking crazy. Chaim changed his name in 2009, around the time he claimed to convert to Judaism. He wasn't even a real rabbi, and his claims that his kids come from Jewish families was false too. As soon as they moved in, he changed their names to sound more Jewish, just like he had done with his own name. He also made them grow side locks to fit into the online narrative and just kind of the general look of the people that would be watching Jewish family vlogs, you know. And on top of that, right around the time this all came out, he had started to appear on camera in a wheelchair and an air mask. Yet when he was taken into the hospital, doctors found that there was literally nothing wrong with the fucking guy. In the end, Chaim was sentenced to 135 years in prison for multiple counts of child abuse and one for injuring a child, with the judge's final words to him saying, quote, "You're gonna die in prison," which is so fucking sick, dude. That's the only time I ever envy being a judge, is when you get to really just fucking put that nail in that coffin. Hey, guess what, Chaim, or what are the ghoul, or whatever the fuck you want to be called? Bye! Boom! That's what I do too. And I'd be like, you know what? On the way out, break his ankles. That's the kind of judge I'd be. Break his toes. Recess and we'll break his toes. Hit him. If anybody opposes, I'm shooting you in the chest. Judge Hancock. That's my show. I'm Judge Judy's fetal alcohol syndrome child. All of Chaim's social media accounts are still up but haven't been touched since the arrest in 2023, except for his website, which turned into a Singaporean online casino. Was he hacked? Or is Chaim still working in the shadows behind the scenes? Who knows? And lastly, we can't end the video without talking about one of the first family channels to ever face controversy, and it's coming back to light, and it's one of the main reasons we even wanted to talk about this, is Daddy of Five's back. This channel, if you don't know Daddy of Five, the channel consisted of father, Mike Martin, mother, Heather Martin, and her 5 kids from other marriages. Not even his kids. Maybe some of them are, I don't know. It's a whole hodgepodge. It's a hot potato situation is all I gotta say. Like most family channels, they posted vlogs on their day-to-day life, jumped on viral trends like the, 1,000-degree knife challenge, and tried to record their day-to life as much as possible. Just regular bullshit, following trends, yada, 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 YouTuber bullshit. All of these videos performed well, but what really brought in views were their pranks, which eventually became the majority of their content. Videos like Dad Stink Bombed Son's Room and Silly String Wake Up Prank were some of the more tame pranks that drew in millions of viewers. However, as more people tuned in, it became clear that many of the pranks were not so harmless. More often than not, the pranks involved a child getting hurt or extremely upset, usually at the hands of the parents. One of the younger children, Cody, was specifically targeted in most of these pranks. And there's a lot of things too, man. It's kind of fucked up. I mean, I think that they've even said recently where it's like, it was all fake, blah, blah, but some of these videos, it's like the kid has a busted lip. I mean, in the video, you see him getting pushed down by his other older, bigger brothers and stuff, and the dad just laughs or the mom just laughs. It's fucked. Like, there's no other way to say it. It's all fucked up. And in 2017, the channel uploaded a video titled Invisible Ink Prank, which would get them in serious trouble. In the video, mother poured invisible ink on the carpet in Cody's room, leaving stains, and blamed it on him. Both Heather and Mike screamed at Cody to the point where he became visibly distressed and started to cry. This went on for 5 minutes, and once they revealed that it was just a prank, nobody except the parents were laughing. Many people were upset by the prank, believing it had gone too far, and clips from the video went viral and made national news, prompting an investigation into the family. And a few months later, Heather and Mike took on an Alford plea, meaning they didn't admit to guilt, but agreed that there was enough evidence to convict them. With this plea came 5 years of supervised probation, and both Cody and his sister Emma were given to their biological mother. After the controversy was over, the family had attempted numerous comebacks to no avail. Mike Martin started a music career in 2019, releasing 2 rap albums, 2 heavy metal albums, and he also posts vlogs, slam poetry, and boomer-style reaction videos on TikTok.
Hating so much that I'm levitating and waiting for a miracle. But I'm cynical, so I turn to the biblical. But I'm a criminal, so it's difficult.
His oldest son, Jake, followed in his father's footsteps and has also started his rap career, as well as a clothing brand. As for Heather, she uses TikTok like a Facebook account, posting updates about her life, including her kids' graduation, family vacations,
examination after examination with cross-examination,
and other family gathering bullshit stuff. To this day, Mike and his family strongly deny any abuse at the home. They say CPS never removed Cody and Emma and claims the biological mother just hated them.
Yeah, the older son interviewed his dad, and in it, he asked, like, what would happen if none of this controversy, like, if we didn't get in trouble, it'd be like, oh, man, we'd be set for life, man.
Yeah, it's just one of those... It's just so, in my opinion, I mean, that's the thing with online stuff. Who really ever knows anything? But from all the stuff that's in front of you, it's just so obvious when someone's guilty, you know?
I've never, yeah, we're not going to plead guilty, but you got enough evidence, so we're not going to deny it.
Well, yeah, it's just like, all right, well, I'm not going to deny it, but at the same time, it's like, I guess you got me. Yeah, I guess it all looks kind of weird. It's just bad angles. You know, it's like, what the f are you talking about? Many parents have fond memories of picking up a camera and recording videos of their kids to enjoy for the future, right? Trying to create little time capsules for themselves to enjoy later on. However, some take it a step further and allow the internet into their home by posting vlogs and other content showing off their picture-perfect lifestyle. Though their lives might look perfect, many of them are hiding a dark secret. I want to say almost all of them.
My hair looks fucked up. I would not film like this. So just go.
Okay.
So if you ever wish that your family was more like the ones you see online, just know that not everything is always sunshine and rainbows. And two, I say this, just if you have a family, don't fucking make content around it, man. Be a guy, you know what's a cool dad? The outdoor boys guy.
Oh, yeah.
Just like a guy being like, yeah, I'm gonna go camping, I do this. And like sometimes he'll bring his son along, but it isn't just like him being like every video, like, buddy, what do you think?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Or a guy who's just like, I'm a dad and I'm restoring a boat in my garage.
Well, he even stopped his channel because he's like, you know, we blew up too big and I don't want like...
Yeah, it was affecting his personal life, which I gotta say, respect to that guy, man. It's fucking cool. There's nothing wrong with being a parent making content. It's just whenever you're using your situation to manipulate others, using your children to manipulate others for financial gain or for social credit is just fucking gross. And I think inevitably that's what a lot of it turns into. Stay safe out there. I appreciate you all for watching.
Uh-oh, Pepper needs a diaper change.
Not everybody can be a great online influencer dad like me and Pepper. Uh-oh. I saw the comments. I know you guys like watching Pepper just... He dances. This is not... Pepper! Pepper, stop! Stop, Pepper!